Good morning, everybody. Ian Robson here. Welcome to another edition of Coffee with Ian. Not as hot as I want it to be, but that's okay. So, as the title suggests, I've been thinking about a couple things. County line and boats, apparently. So, hope everybody has been enjoying the County line series. It's kind of funny to go back to that map again in FS19 and see what's changed and what hasn't changed. But basically kept the yard all the same. Well, a lot of it all the same. And the only thing that really changes is the seasons. Now, I haven't seen the textures yet on the map, so I don't know what it looks like in comparison to the previous. I have to take a look at it, but it's very curious to see how it's working out. So I'm pretty I don't know, I like it so far. Actually, it's been a great map. I really like. Well, it's one of the maps I really enjoyed last time around, so it was good to kind of go back and take another look at it to see what it's all about. One thing that I do like is that now I don't have to go all the way down to the animal area on the map. I can actually just place an animal area right where the main farm is instead. Of course, I have to clear a little area first and go from there, but it's nice to be able to do that as opposed to having to just stick with what you're doing. So, which is cool. So it's been good to have a little bit of a change there. The other thing I noticed that was interesting is with the way the hay dries now with seasons is very interesting because what you actually do is you kind of cut your grass or cut your hay and let it sit there, and then it'll dry like it does in real life, basically. But the one thing I did was I had my time scale to set to 5. What was happening was I cut the grass and I had set the time scale 5, and the grass actually dried before I could bale it into silage bales, which was kind of funny. So I had some that came out as hay bales and some that came out as silage bales the other day. So it was kind of interesting. It was one of the things where I'm like, oh, I guess I should have had it on one the whole time. So c'est la vie, I suppose. But it was an interesting little fact. When I was playing, I was kind of confused whether you had to let the bale sit or not. And then someone mentioned that you have to use a little monitor, a little handheld tool to gauge whether something is, ready to, or is silage or not, sort of thing. So I know, and normally in the game you can just bale something or bale it, wrap it, and then it's silage automatically. But with seasons, you have to let it, ferment, which is normal, like real life as well. I haven't got into the crop rotation quite yet. I planted the winter wheat starting off, and then I'm going to go to a couple of things. I forget what it was now, but they do have that crop planner on there. So it has been it's pretty interesting actually to see how it all works together. Other than that, I don't think County line has changed that much. I believe the textures on the map may have been changed to accommodate for new seasons. I'm not sure. And then the other thing that I noticed was everything else seems pretty like normal in comparison to the previous version of the map. So nothing was really that surprising. Performance, I would have thought it would be a bit better actually. Now I haven't explored the whole map, and I think that might be possibly the reason why the performance isn't as good as it could be. But I'm kind of surprised. Like with my computer's not like a slouch, I guess now. So I was kind of surprised that the frames were getting so low. Still, I know it's funny to see that Farm Sim still hasn't optimized for some of those things yet. So I guess that's the way it goes. But yeah, it's very curious on that side. On the complete other end of the spectrum, as the title suggests, I have been thinking about buying a boat with my dad. A fishing boat, not like a cruise or anything like that, just a fishing boat. Something that him and I can go out in and do a little bit of fishing, obviously. So that's what we've been considering. I've been thinking about a John boat, or I have been thinking about potentially a aluminum, like a V-hull style. And I'm not sure which was going to be the best. I understand like a flat bottom is going to be better in smaller water. So like a smaller lake or a river, we work really well in, and you can get into really shallow areas. Whereas the V-hull style will be better, like a slightly larger lake that can get a bit choppy at times. So I understand those differences. So I just wasn't sure. I'm still not sure which way to go, whether to go new or used. I don't have a truck, so I can't just stick a boat in the back of my truck. Would have to, get a trailer or be able to put it on top of my car, which is where the limitation comes into play a little bit for me, because I can't just put anything on top of my car because I don't have a roof rack. So that's been another challenge that's been interesting. But one of those, like a John boat, would be able to go on top of a car with a roof rack, no problem. It's just a question of getting it on there and the roof rack is an additional cost. So it's like, do you weigh the cost of getting a roof rack and then getting the boat? So the roof racks are like what, $500 Canadian, something like that, plus or minus a little bit. Whereas the trailer is like, $1,000 to $1,500. So, and then you have to get the hassle of, putting on top of the car, which can be by yourself. I wouldn't be able to do. So I'd have to have somebody there. Could you do it? You might be able to, actually. If you had a roof rack, you could slide it on the roof rack probably. But on a trailer would be a little bit easier. And then you could theoretically just pack it. So the funny thing is, I wasn't sure whether the trailer would work for a V-hull and a flat bottom. I think it might be able to. I'm just not sure how well that would work. So that was one of the considerations I had about that, and whether or not that was going to be the right choice or not for us. So we'll see. It's one of those things where you're just not quite sure, and you're kind of thinking about like, well, that could work, but that could work too. So it's been a bit of back and forth, bit of back and forth, just because I'm not sure what's going to be the best choice for us. So it's been kind of funny. And then figuring out what I like and what my dad likes, and then figuring out what would work best for both of us, not just one of us, and how much we want to spend and all that jazz. It's been funny. I think my wife's is going crazy a little bit from all the back and forth talk about that kind of stuff. So, and I think my sister has also gone a little crazy too, because she's been in the middle of it as well, because she's hearing my dad talk about it and then me talk about it, and then back and forth basically. So it's been kind of funny. Anyways, I think that'll be it for me for today, folks. I'm going to head off to work soon. My name's Iain Robson. I hope you enjoy. If you just go ahead and hit that subscribe button for some more Coffee with Iain. Catch you later. Hey, honey.